welcome to another video from oorail. In this video we're going to show you another technique for weathering track. So first of all I need to give some credit where it's due. I actually saw this technique on Deryk Glass's YouTube channel. It's a fantastic tip, so I thought it was well worth kind of just showing how I did it for folks who are modeling in OO gauge instead of HO gauge. So it's a very simple technique. You're going to take some camouflage paint. This is Rust-Oleum camouflage paint, and the nice thing about camouflage paint is that it's got a non-reflective finish. It's ultra flat colors, and this particular can has any angle spray. Now camouflage paint that you can buy at Walmart, this whole tin, which I think is 12 ounce tin of camouflage paint, it costs about maybe $4. It wasn't very expensive, but camouflage paint comes in multiple different colors. So the one you want is the earth brown, which is this kind of darkish kind of brown color here. It does actually dry quite a lot lighter, so it works pretty well, and it's a similar color to what I was using for other parts of the track. Now I wouldn't recommend using this method for point work. You probably could if you taped it up, but I usually kind of hand paint it. So as you saw in my previous video a couple of years ago on weathering track, I typically use enamel paints that have been thinned out, and then kind of hand paint the track. And that works fine. I mean, it's almost therapeutic, I think, at this point. But for large sections of track, like this one here, that have absolutely no point work and are really just kind of mainline sections, it doesn't really make too much sense to sit here and spend 4 or 5 or 6 hours hand painting that track. So we're going to go ahead and use this. Now this technique could also be used to paint basically your track beforehand. So before you put it on the layout, you could go out and tack it down to a bit of 2x4, and then go out and spray paint it, let it dry, and so on in your garage. That's one way to do it. Here I'm actually going to spray paint it directly onto the baseboard, and if you do it this way, first of all make sure that you have some form of ventilation in your area, and you also may want to make sure that you've got some sort of respirator. I'll be using a basic respirator just while I spray this, since it is poorly ventilated down here. But yeah, that's basically it. So it's a pretty simple trick. All you do is hold the spray can, spray it down, spray it back on opposite rails, and make sure you get it from both angles. You will notice that here on the back I have put a piece of wood, and this is actually the base for the bridge, and I've put it up against the wall just to catch any back spray from the track and so on, so that way when I try to put the back scene on in a day or two, it doesn't have a kind of a brown paint stuck to the wall. Alright, so the technique's pretty simple. Like I said, you're going to spray paint that, and then while it's still wet, you're going to take a flat surface. I'm using this piece of wood, and you basically just run it down the wood. Now I have cleaned the track with the CMX track cleaner, and I have moved, as you can see, everything including the chimney stack for the power station over there out of the way. So next thing we're going to do is basically just show you how to weather this, and just show you a couple of lengths of track. I'll probably do this and that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole lot off camera and show you the end result. I don't want to get too much paint on the lens here of the video camera. Alright, so if you give me just a second, I'm going to actually step on some steps to get up to slightly above the track so I can paint this. So first step is going to be to basically shake the paint can. So you want to do this for about a minute. Make sure you hear the ball. Now I've also taped up the gaps that are in the baseboard. So there's a couple of places where there's gaps in the baseboard, and that's been taped up to prevent it damaging anything that's under the baseboard. And it's important that you shake this properly. And you're going to do it in short bursts. You're not going to want to do this in any kind of lengthy spraying action. And as long as you don't go crazy, this works pretty well. Okay, so that should be good. Like so. There you go. So it's as simple as that. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to hop down to do this, so I'm not breathing this stuff in. And what you can do is just run this along the track while it's still wet. And you get something like that. And then just take a piece of kitchen towel, wipe it off like so, and move your way down the track like so. You could also use the kitchen towel, I guess, to clean it up if you wanted to, but I found that just a piece of wood seems to work pretty well. And that's basically it. So what I'm going to do is move the camera to a safe distance, and I'm going to go do this on all of the rest of the track. You can see there it only took a few seconds. And now keep in mind, I am doing this before I put down any kind of ballast, before I put down any signals, any scenery or anything like that. You want to get the track weathered first, so that way any of this kind of overspill you can hide later. Now one other thing too is this would be a good time if you're going to use a textured spray to create a kind of a soil earth kind of effect, to actually spray that down now as well. So anyway, I'm going to go and get this finished, and we'll show you the end result. Okay, so it's taken me probably about 25 minutes or so to do this. So I did place some kitchen towel or paper towels down over the points at this end, as I didn't want to get that covered in paint. But you can see here it's done a fantastic job on weathering the track. And if I just pull the camera up so you can see, if I pull the camera up like here, you can see it's done a really fantastic job on weathering all this track. Now keep in mind, I've weathered all this track in less than 25 minutes. You can see there, there's the reason why I put the baseboard on the back, just so I could stop that from picking up any of the extra brown paint off the wall. You can see I have a little bit on the wall over there, but nothing crazy, so it's not going to mess up the back scenes or anything like that. You can see here that it's really nicely done. It's same kind of color that we use, and obviously you have the overspray which we'll ballast over, so that doesn't really matter. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I did want to show you, you can see there along the back, that's one of the reasons we put that board there. Does smell a bit, so I'm going to call it a day down here. Now when we're done, I will go and basically hit this with the track rubber, just to get rid of all of the remaining kind of paint residue off the top. I think I got like 99% of it with the piece of wood, as you can see here. It's done its job very well, and a couple of bits of paper towel. So I'm quite pleased with the effect. It looks pretty nice. It's exactly what I was looking for, and I saved myself a ton of time in the process. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry. This particular paint, I think, takes about 20 minutes to be dry to the touch. You can handle it in about an hour. It's fully dry in 24 hours. For maximum adhesion to plastic, such as the sleepers here, it does say it needs 5 to 7 days. That's maximum paint adhesion and durability. So it's, pretty much done after 24 hours. But for plastic adhesion, if you're going to abuse it, you might want to wait 4 or 5 days. But I think for what we're using it for, it should be good to go in about 24 hours. So it's about 2 in the morning, so by 2 in the morning, Monday, this will be all ready to go. So this is dry though, within about an hour or two, so I'm hoping it's going to be dry enough in about 12 hours to put the back seam up along the back, and then once I get the back seam in, we'll for the layout update we'll do some ballasting as well, and then hopefully this whole section here of layout will basically be all done, and all I can use it for shooting video. But anyway, this video was more about showing you this other technique for weathering tracks, so hope you found it useful.